Hello everybody, and we are in week 5 now. During week 5 we're going to be covering chapter 4, which is all about the self and sort of self-image and self-perception within the larger society. So we just finished covering social perception, how we're perceived by others and how others perceive us. Now this is a little bit more of a deeper reflection into the ideas we have of ourselves, which tie in so perfectly with the last chapter. So I'm hoping that you'll build upon some of the concepts that we started last week and got into, and that we'll start seeing some of those resurface here as we're examining the self. So here is your to-do list for the week, which again is just meant to help you follow along and make sure that you're not missing anything, important dates, important times, and all of that. Here is the objectives for the chapter. And again, you can use those in helping you to study. You guys have an exam coming up the end of the week. So these are meant to make sure that you're getting everything you should out of the chapter, that you're not missing studying anything. If it's not in these objectives here, then it's not something that would be a potential for the exam. But some of these questions, again, are loaded questions. They have different levels, different dimensions that you kind of have to explore in order to answer each one. Here's the reading for the week in terms of your extra article reading. And this article is called The Many Me's of the Self-Monitor, which is pretty much examining people as they would monitor their own actions, their own behaviors. So we're going to be learning here a little bit about low self-monitors and high self-monitors, and how those people navigate their social world in response to controlling their own sort of output and view that people are getting of them. Here are your lecture slides for the week. I've included an extra video this week. It's just a short little one, which kind of causes us to look at how we view ourselves. Sometimes we're our own worst critic. So we're going to be taking a look at that. And someone had asked me about how to access the videos in Revel. There actually isn't a tab that says videos, which isn't super intuitive, but there isn't a separate tab for it. How you access the videos, you actually access them while you're reading the chapter. So if you open up the chapter in the e-text and you're going along and you're reading, whenever there's a video that applies to something that you're reading about, it will show up in the chapter, and it'll be either on the side or embedded in the text, and it'd be like a link that you would click on and it would take you right to the video. So you should be watching all of those. I don't post them separately because it's just an impossible task to take on. They're already there, they're already in your ebook, and it makes it really easy to just click into them whenever you're reading in the chapter. So I hope that you're doing that. The videos are meant to help illustrate concepts a little bit more, especially when there's an area of interesting research done on a particular topic. They might include a video that helps just in your overall understanding of it. So please do be watching all those videos. Here is your discussion for the week. Again, it's using this article, Article 13, but also integrating the chapter 4, and any videos. So those are all fair game for how you respond to these questions. The questions are usually in particular about the article, but here's the crazy thing. I picked the articles based on what we're covering in the chapter. So chapter 4 is going to go ahead and give you additional constructs and material that apply absolutely to self-monitoring. And how do people develop their self-monitoring abilities? Like, where does that come from? To answer some of these questions, you're going to get more detail if you're integrating the reading and the chapter. Some of these questions are tough to answer just alone if you're not looking at the chapter. So my assumption would be that you are integrating all these sources in order to answer these questions. And this particular reading is unique in that there is an assessment I want you to fill out. It's on page 109. And it's basically asking you to rate yourself on some different constructs, and this is going to determine whether or not you're a high or low self-monitor, which then that's part of what you're going to be talking about in your discussion. So I think this will be really interesting for this week. Everybody's going to get something different, and everyone's going to have something different to say, and then you're going to just tie it all together with, what does that mean in terms of the research, and what does that say about you, and what does it say about how people would be in a work setting or an intimate relationship, depending upon what kind of self-monitor they are. So I think we'll get some interesting responses this week. It should give lots of opportunity for you to be able to respond to other people's posts very thoughtfully and have a lot to say there. And then lastly, here is our exam number 2. And exam 2 is covering chapters 3 and 4. And I think I say that if we go back up here to your exam. Yep, chapters 3 and 4 from the textbook. Closes by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. Some people have asked about the quizzes and the tests in Revel. Those are only there for you to use and helping you to study for the actual test that I grade and I put into your grade book, which is here on Play-Doh. The Revel exams are meant to help give you a study aid. So they are exams. They will grade you, and you'll get feedback on those. And the questions are very similar to the ones you'll see on the tests. However, I don't go in and I don't grade those. I can go in and I can see who's done them. So I can kind of keep track of, oh, this person's using these tests, to help them study, and this person isn't. But I'm not going to take those exam grades and use them in any way. I like to provide this for you as a resource to help you prepare for all your tests. And that being said, there's also some other tools in Revel that can help you prepare for exams. There's study guide type things, there's flashcards. So you kind of have to go into Revel and play around and see what's in there in the course materials. But I hope that makes sense for the week. Again, make sure that you're looking and reading through any of my feedback that I give you on your discussion posts from last week prior. Making sure that if there are things you're doing wrong, that you could be fixing those. Mostly I see people making a lot of citation mistakes. And again, if you're one of those individuals and you're not citing correctly, what you would want to do is go to the Start Here menu. And I've said this before, but sometimes we forget, after a while. I've included, if we scroll all the way down, Cite as you write instructions. It's like a one-page document I put together that just really helps you how to cite APA style. When you're taking an idea from the textbook or a reading, how do I cite that? If I want to use a direct quote, how do I cite that? I really want you guys getting used to citing an APA style, mainly because it is a very popular way of citing used in the social sciences. So even if you're not a psych major, criminal justice, social work, a lot of the other social sciences use this style. So it's, a handy thing to get used to doing. So that's about it. I hope that you all have a good week, and please let me know if you have any questions, okay?